Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All right, so Shabbat Shalom, Yasha Allah. All right, so before we start, we're going to face the east. All right. Shema, Yasha Allah, Yahawah, AHLAHAYANAWA, Yahawah, Akbar. Shema, Yasha Allah, Yahawah, AHLAHAYANAWA, Yahawah, Akbar. Shema, Yasha Allah, Yahawah, AHLAHAYANAWA, Yahawah, Akbar. RAWCHAA YAHAWAH, RAWCHAA YAHAWASHI, RAWCHAA YAHAWAH, RAWCHAA YAHAWASHI, RAWCHAA YAHAWAH, RAWCHAA YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, AHLAHYANAWA, AHLAHAYANAWA, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM THAWADAH. All right, double honors, double honors. So apostles and elders, bishops, and GMS, much respect. Since they asking for a late from work, Shalom, Shalom. Be believers, that YAHAWAH, brothers and sisters, across the truth, as always. THAWADAH YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI for the QADASH. Giving thanks to our power, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, with the Holy Spirit, the QADASH, which gives us the understanding of the wisdom and knowledge of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM for QADASH. All right. Lord with us is edifying, take to the point. All right. So we got a few go into. Another update on that Paragma, okay? Shortages like famine and how time. All right. All right. So we're gonna bring that out right quick. If you want, you can read it. All right. Generally off the same thing, and then there's one that I'm gonna read at the end. That's gonna, give you a little bit more information. This is two more fertilizer plants in Europe shut down due to high. It says no energy means no food. Listen, think about that. Famines is coming, man. Famines is definitely coming. They literally just shut down two more fertilizer. So literally, all three of those articles are going into mainly the same thing, where the gas prices are so high. It literally says it within the article that there's been record-breaking gas prices that they're gonna have to shut down. That they're shutting down as we speak now. That they have shut facilities that are literally that are major agricultural production companies that we need to have food over here, especially over there in Europe. They're saying that soon that I'm gonna read this article about it. It says globalists are terrorizing humanity. Scarcities of everything. I read that there's two more fertilizer plants in Europe that had just been shut down. Right? No food, no energy means no food, and more. When we defeat the controllers, we unleash abundance for all. And what does that sound? Sounds like they're trying to take out the people in power so they can try to live abundantly. But that we know through the scriptures that's not going to happen. In this article that where it says when we defeat the controllers, we will unleash abundance for all. But at the end of the day, it's like you can't really do that. Oh, God. sounds like also sounds like they shall not regard the kings of princes, which I think the court in your action about paraphrasing. We're gonna eventually get that out too, as well. But we're seeing a lot more businesses shutting. Going to cause the grinders to be low. That's going to cause more people to be laid off. It's going to cause people to be in perilous time. You don't let the scripture speak for itself.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 3 and 4. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because there are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened.
So we're saying in that day when the keepers of the house, right, the economy, okay, shall tremble, and strong men, the rich men, right, those who are in power, those are very rich, shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease. And we're already seeing how people are being laid off from work, all right, because of the inflation, or people are having to make those life-changing decisions because the gas price is too high. It's causing them to pay too much to travel to work. So now they're having to quit their job, try to find another job. And mind you, when a company doesn't have the recommended manpower for it to function well, it's going to cause the business to not operate well because you don't got enough manpower. It's grinding too slow. Okay,
it's literally like those two fertilizer plants, man. Yeah. Those fertilizer plants aren't like a small little business. You gotta understand, a fertilizer plant is something big, you know. And the fact that they had to shut down 2 whole fertilizer plants, 2 of them in Europe, that's literally ridiculous. You know how many people just probably got like laid off because of that? How many people are not with work now over there in Europe? All of that is literally about to come to Babylon the Great, man, very soon.
Yep. To add to what the brother said, there's already articles going out how a lot of companies here in Babylon, aka America, are preparing for what they call hiring freeze.
Yep.
They're going to hiring because the company's not doing well financially. They don't have enough money coming in, and they're not able to because they don't make enough money. They can't hire more employees. All right, so that's going to cause more work to be brought upon those who are currently working still. Then at some point they're going to either quitting or leave on their own or be laid off. There's articles about that too. How I think 52% around here somewhere of companies carried to do like a mass layoff. Okay? All right. So it says the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. And it says those like it says they refuse those that look out of the window. So people are going to be in a state of hopelessness. Okay, there ain't gonna be no hope in them because they have this wisdom and knowledge dwelling within their mind, their spirit. Okay, because like they say, Isaiah 33 and 6, right? Wisdom and knowledge shall be of that time, right? You know that can happen like so that scripture can also take place right now too. Before all hell breaks loose, whenever the brothers, you know, and the future sisters out there, you know, you may you catching your daily hell, that fiery trial, right? But because you have the wisdom and knowledge of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI and the proper understanding of it, it's going to keep you stable. You may lose your job, but then because of the scriptures, right? You like, well, you know what? You know, YAHAWAH outside is going to take it. You know, I lost my job, but hey, he's going to give me something better, something just to maintain me, just for until you know shit hits the fan. So everyone is fucking going through it. Okay. Yeah.
Verse 4. And the doors shall be shut into the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. Of music shall be brought low.
And the doors shall be shut in the streets. into businesses shutting down. One day you're gonna wake up, you're gonna be driving down, Main Street, and you're gonna start seeing more of like of those foreclosure signs on these businesses' windows, tape,
Out of business.
yeah, like signs that saying that current that place is out of business. Like no more, man. You'll start seeing that more often. That's why these places about to start looking desolate, man. Because you about to start seeing a lot of these places being shut down from work, okay? Because of bankruptcy, because the whole the economy crashing, right? The whole dollar is literally about to be thrown away real soon. Biden already signed that bill where apparently December 13th to 12th supposed to go complete cashless. But hey, don't take these devil words for exact. It can happen before. It can happen next month, next week. It can happen in November.
You gotta understand, he decrees these things prior to fucking actually implementing them into society. Because you gotta understand, he has power regardless. Just because they say, oh, nah, it has to go to the Congress and it has to pass Congress or the House, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of his unrighteous decree, and the fact that he wrote it down already, as soon as he writes and signs the signature on the bottom, which you can easily go look up the executive order 14067, he has a signature on the bottom of that decree. So guess what? That means it's literally been implemented. All he has to do is say, all right, start that shit today. Literally. It's as fast as that. So what the brother was saying, it says December 13th or the 12th, but at the end of the day, he can implement that shit tomorrow. He can do that because he has the power. Literally, it says what scripture say, the world has been given into the hands of the wicked. Literally, he can do that shit tomorrow if he wants, because he has the power in his hand.
Really, think about it, it's the elite. It's the elite, right? The Rothschild family, the Bacon family can send a decree all the way down to Joe Button and have him mandate that the actual that unrighteous decree that he signed, right? Mind you, wasn't there like another law, if I'm mistaken, how Biden was given permission to like pretty much actually have the shot like call the shots out?
Yeah, that's the HR 350. Like he basically has the power to do as he pleases, and it also states in there with the martial law and stuff.
So when it says, and the doors shall be shut in the street, right? Businesses shutting down. When the sound of the grinding is low, right? When the employment rate, the employment rate is so low, and the unemployment rate is so high, right? It's not going to be that many people working because of the what? Of the doors shall be shut in the street, right? When the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. So like you're gonna have a lot of people trying to wake up, really early in the morning, trying to find work. Perfect example, our brothers from the tribe of Issachar, right? People from the northern kingdom, right? Well, you normally see Issachar, meaning he was hired like that, right? And you notice how a lot of the Issacharites they get up who comes here so called illegally, right? Really, this part of their land, right? It was taken away from us, right? But they come here so called illegally without like Esau's documents, and they trying to find work without the so called credentials needed to be in their system, and they trying to find work as soon as fucking daylight, as soon as the sun start coming up, they up at the voice of the bird, picked up to do labor. Kind of mostly it's usually something related to like construction, maintaining the ground, right, tilling the ground, and etc. Pretty much building this damn devil's kingdom. And it says here, the last part, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And we're seeing that. We're seeing the music industry today's music, the vibration that's pushed out through the medium, which is witchcraft, right? They're casting their witchcraft, that vibration through the music, through TV and shit like that. But we're seeing more of these artists being put to death, man. And before you know it, ain't gonna be none of that. We ain't gonna be hearing that kind of music out here playing, man. It's gonna be pure fucking chaos going on. You ain't gonna be seeing, a group of E's in a Nissan Altima, listen to some loud ass Cardi B music, Megan Stallion, the horse, whatever you want to call her. And all these other Israelite women started with the tribe of Judah, right? The so-called black woman, who's like the face of our woman, uh, presenting himself as a really bad role model. All right, the music, yo, tell you, real soon, ain't gonna be none of that shit out here, man. All right, that's what goes in. Uh, Second Ezra, chapter 9.
This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 9, verse 1 through 4. Verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Right, so it says, measure the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time within the highest, right? YAHAWASHI W4Y will begin to visit the world which he made. So, right, we measuring the prophets, right? We serve the prophets of YAHAWASHI W4Y are measuring the time diligently by being a diligent watchman, constantly being in tune with what's going on in the news, all these different platforms that have news articles that's going out, constantly being up to date what's going on around the world, and then we'll use scriptures that ties in with the current events, so we can have a general idea of where we're at in prophecy, of where we're at in this movie of YAHAWASHI W4Y. Okay, prophecy is like a measuring stick. It lets us know, where we're at. Okay, where we're at in prophecies. Okay, and then because of that, because we're starting to see the signs come to pass, like an example, we're starting to see that charagma, the talk of the charagma, it's being talked more about daily, day in and day out. The famine, the increase of it. We're starting to see how more people are being laid off of work, and that numbers are going to increase even more. We're seeing more people experiencing perilous times. We're seeing Isaiah 32, verses 9 to 12, if I'm not mistaken, how a lot of the careless women are starting to be visited, right? They're starting to be held accountable for their careless acts, right? We're starting to see a lot of more women, our women, right? But starting with the Eve woman, and you got other women too out there talking about. They're pretty much, you got Eve going against Eve. You got Eve calling out the Eve, like, yo, like, you women today with that mindset, it's going to cause you to be lonely. It's not good, this and that. And the Israelite men, the so-called black men, Hispanic men, Latino men, Native Indian men, they would rather leave Babylon, aka America, and go overseas to get a wife, or not even get a wife, at all, or this is another thing too that I think Brother QADASH had brought out earlier in the lesson, and it's true too. It's really true. You got Israelite men, when they do find themselves dealing with an Israelite woman, a woman of the world, he's not really treating her like an actual wife. She's getting more of that concubine kind of love, because most of our women are sold out, man. They gave up their box to many men, objects, and the list goes on, right? So they getting treated as a concubine. They're not being treated as an actual wife, because in return she doesn't really want a husband. She don't want to be submissive. want to have a man that's like a father figure. You want a son, a man, pretty much to be like a son, like a boy and shit like that. All right, and the list goes on, man. All right. The constant hearing wars and rumors of war. World War III can pop off at any time, but before that happens, we gotta wait for that corruption to be mandatory. We can see how these damn devils about to come down with that great wrath because not only the EU declare war against the conspiracy theory, which is no profit really. There was a chick, I think the governor of New York, I think something like that. They was talking about how that like they want to put out a law where they can modernize what is being pushed out on social media. Okay, let's say you're trying to get a job or whatever. They're going to interview you. They want to know if you have a social media or social media account, and if so, they want to know what you're posting up. Okay, so they can have an idea of 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 of, of, uh, of what your social with the social credit score come out is going to look like. Pretty much, they're trying to see if you're at. They trying to close in on the profit, pretty much. Okay, all right. But yeah, that's like one of the many signs that's coming to pass, and we understand that this is the very time that YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is visiting the world that He made. Okay, verse 3.
Verse 3. Therefore, there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Then shall they well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
So we're seeing earthquakes and uproars of the people, like it mentioned in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7, if I'm not mistaken, where it says nations shall rise against nations, his kingdom. There shall be famine, pestilences. We go further a little bit down. It says earthquakes in diverse places. That's a precept for the brother to spread. Earthquakes, right, in diverse places. There's places that you don't normally see getting hit with these particular natural disasters. Like for example, was it Saudi Arabia? I think it was a desert. I think the Sahara Desert. I think I'm thinking. It got hit with that puddle of water, right? That's the earthquake happening in diverse places. You got actual earthquakes happening in places that's not normally to get hit with earthquakes. There's an app out there where it keeps track of the daily earthquakes worldwide, and you look at that app, man, this earthquake happen like every 10 seconds, every 5 seconds, man, all over the world, especially at diverse places. That gives a video how South Africa there's a lot of snow out there. Apparently, it was snowing in Mexico, and it's still supposed to be summer. There's places that get hit with certain weather that's like considered abnormal to happen during that currency. And uproars of the people, right? We're seeing a lot of nations that's rising, that's protesting against their kings and princes because of inflation, the cost of their daily bread is too high. They're being laid off from work because the kings and princes are decreeing unrighteous decrees, putting their people into perilous times that's hard to bear with. Okay, all right, and there's many nations out there that already literally that scripture says there shall be tradition among men. You got that?
I'm getting a different one. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21. And it goes into what you were saying. You said the uproars of the people, the war, the rumors of war. But this is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verses. I'm going to start at 8 to 12. 8 to 12. Book of Luke, chapter 21, verses 8 through 12. And he said, take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and the time draweth not near. Go ye not therefore after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotion, be not terrified. Those things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet, by and by. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. But before all these, they shall lay their hands upon you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake.
And it's whole like on that
Hell
whole
yeah.
thing. All right, so the brother read a precept to back me up on the earthquake of his people, and we're seeing that in the world right now. At some point, that's going to happen all throughout Babylon. All right, but when you go into the blue of the Bible for the word earthquake, one of the similar terms for earthquake also commotion.
Yeah, but look, it says right here.
It says right
Verse
there,
9 says, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified. These things must come to pass, or first come to pass, but the end is not yet, by and by.
After commotion, another similar term for commotion. Similar terms for commotion would be riot, riot, uproar, protest, right? Rebellion, I think, right? Yeah. Rebellion, right? And that sounds like what? Sedition, right? Like the word sedition. So I'm gonna get that. Oh, and insurrection. Yep, another one. And the brother read too how at some point that great persecution upon that's gonna come upon like it says in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12 and 17, that the devil was the devil come down with great wrath, look at a short time, and verse 17, the dragon was brought with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of the seed, those who keep the commandments of Yahweh and has the testimony of YAHAWASHI W4Y, which is the testimony of YAHAWASHI W4Y, the prophecy. Mentioned the book of Revelation, chapter 19. But yeah, damn, those will come down that great wrath upon the prophets, upon the believers of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. You're going to cast them into the synagogue and the council, right? So look at the council and with them, like that.
This verse 12 says, but before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prison, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake.
Fine, so they shall put their hands on you. And that scripture where it says, blessed, I think it's a Matthew conversation. It says, blessed are ye that are persecuted for my name's sake, and when men shall revile you, something like that, revile, it goes into pretty much someone's being like being very physical towards you. Because
says put hands on you.
Yep.
What the brother's saying is true.
Yep. All right. And then we're gonna come into that times, man. Motherfuckers really gonna try to harm us, kill us, because one, we coming back to our true nationality, being Hebrew Israelite, Yahshua Allah, Prince of the Power. And then not only we coming back to who we really are and serving the true power, our power, right? Yahawah Bahasham YAHAWASHI, but also because of what we believe in, right? Because of our religious belief, which is believing in Yahawah Bahasham YAHAWASHI and his doctrine all throughout the Bible. All right, the whole thing, the sweet and the bitter. Okay, all right. So let me get this right quick. On the book of Second Ezra, chapter 15. Let's see. I'm gonna start at 14. Woe, right? Destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against one another, and swords in their hands. Modern day swords, guns, okay, firearms. All right. Verse 16. For there shall be sedition, and sedition goes into similar terms. Sedition would be rebel, right? Going against someone in authority, someone who has power, right? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings or princes, right? Like the kings and princes, like the president, vice president, those in the government fields, the police officers, sheriff officers, deputy officers, your highway patrols, those are supposed to have power, right? Those are supposed to be above of the people, right? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And we're seeing that the great uproars of people around the world, they're taking the course into their own actions. They're going against their kings and princes. All right, they're going against the kings and princes, and they're taking the course in their own actions. Like for example, I forgot what nation to be exact. They ran through the fucking president's building.
Sri Lanka.
Yeah, Sri Lanka. They ran through the presidential building. They in the pool area, getting lit, big chilling, swimming in the pool and shit. Like, yo, it's getting bad, man. But just imagine in Babylon, man, a place that was never touched, never been through such times, man, early times, man. The people here are spoiled. Babylon is known as as that unwalled village. People who like is paraphrasing. Yeah, because the places that east, they think that Babylon is untouchable, man. But when all hell was shit the fan, yo, people gonna lose it, man. All right, so we're gonna move on to another topic that we have. We're gonna go into that. Came across another video about that thing. All right. If you want, you can start with 2 Corinthians 11. I'm gonna bring out that video real quick. It's only a minute long, so let's see where. So you saw there, right? The World Economic Forum, they pushed out another video, pretty much to try to get people to try to pretty much they trying to normalize to get that corona. They trying to make it into like a new trend. Okay, because these devils know, man, they smart, man. So don't sleep on them. They're very intelligent, man. They know how to deceive the people in their minds, man. And they push out videos like this, advertisements like that, to try to get the people to willingly take that prerogative during the hour of temptation. There's already people taking it now willingly. Dangerous things. Another site, I'm telling you, dangerous things. There's already people taking it, man. At their own will, man. They're taking it right now, and they're not even going through hard times right now. All right, they already take it because what? Because they're being deceived by those miracles. All right,
and it's a fucking trend. Yeah. They literally this how you know it's trending beyond belief. They literally tell you it's convenient, you won't lose the key. Guess what? You know how they do that? They push out, oh look, you can have your key to your Tesla in your hand to unlock your car. Then you know what? They go a step further. You know, Jake loved playing video games, have a console. Look, I can access my account for my PS4 with my fucking hand. They do that. And then they keep pushing that constant vibration of, oh, it's okay, this is normal. This is gonna be the next normal trend. And then they keep putting people on and keep putting people on and keep putting people on. It's like a never-ending trend until they get enough people to actually get it willingly. And then once you get enough people to get it willingly, then it becomes, all right, now we're going to mandate that you need to take this. Now this is an executive order. Now, you need to have this implant, or you won't be able to buy, sell, do anything. Thus saith the Lord in the scriptures too.
So you start with that Second Corinthians.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 3, or it's like chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
All right, yeah. So the elect, right? The elect are not going to be deceived by these devils, right? The so-called white man, the Edomites, starting with the elites, right? The Rothschild family, banking family. The elect are not going to be deceived by their devices, their plans, their plots, their evil purpose. Okay, that's what plots goes into. If you look in the book of the Bible, one of the definitions for devices, it goes into an evil purpose. And that evil purpose is them trying to fulfill that NWO, that New World Order, where everyone's going to be under one system, one religion, one law, right? All right? A wicked ass society, man. All right? To make the people to be a slave, a possession onto the fucking onto the Amalekites, Edomites, all right, so-called white people. All right.
Real quick, I had a precept to that verse. This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, and verse 8 and 9. Verse 8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Whom resisteth steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
They say be sober, be vigilant, man. All right. You gotta have a sober mind. You gotta be sober spiritually, all right? You know, speaking to the Israelite man first, right? The elect, right? Having a sober mind by not taking on other philosophies, man. You can't be in this truth and trying to learn the truth, but you bouncing around to different camps. You trying to, you want to take heed to GMS doctrine, starting with elders and apostles and bishops of GMS, right? Starting with Elder Tahar, Elder Gabar, Elder RAWCHAA, Elder Rama, and all the other bishops and the elders all down, right? Now, big brothers, right? You can't try to take heed to their doctrine, and then, like, let's say you finish watching some videos of GMS. Now you taking heed to what WFI is pushing out, what GOCC is pushing out, what Sakari is pushing out, what IUIC is pushing out, IUCPK, wacky tacky Christian doctrine, JC doctrine, right? You know, you ain't gonna be sober spiritually, man. You're gonna be bugged the fuck out.
You're over here dipping and dabbling in other philosophies that are literally of a false orientation, man. There's only one truth.
And as an Israelite man, by you doing that, you're committing adultery spiritually. The Israelite man, because we Israelite man, we're likened onto a woman onto our power. All right. So we Israelite man being likened onto a woman onto YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI, we're picking up other philosophies. That's us committing adultery spiritually. Okay. And then because we are his servants, and since the woman is our servant, she's out here literally committing adultery physically. Okay? So you gotta be, speak to this white man again, be sober. All right? Just drink only that one good wine. Drink the one good living water. Okay? Sir. All right? And that's the truth, the doctrine of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Okay? Be vigilant. All right? Because what? Because that devil, he's roaming around like a lion, seeking if we may devour. He's doing that in many forms, man, with his lying words, broadcasting his lying words through the medium, right? He's broadcasting his lying words, his wickedness through music, agendas, trends, movies. Movies a big one too. TV shows, and the list goes on, man. Food, right? Medicine, right? So-called meds, right? Pushing out, tricks, schemes, plots to take that charisma, to get the hot sauce for the fucking Donkey Kong, Omni Man, fucking Ninja, Virus, and the list goes on, man. All right. You want go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 3. And I'm gonna get the priest to the one you're gonna get. Going back in. the book of Proverbs, chapter 14. Yeah, chapter 14, verse 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. And that's the tobacco what the brother read earlier in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. These saints should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of the devices, the plans, the tricks, because the elect are not going to be the elect are known as a prudent man, prudent, wise. They're wise men. They look well to their going. They're not going to believe every word. No, the devices, the plans, the trick, plot, scheme of the cunning hunter. Esau either. Okay, all right. The prudent man is looking well was going because he's going to walk through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI W4Y. He's going to walk with wisdom, like our elders be saying a lot lately. You got to walk with wisdom, especially times we come into, man. You got to constantly go on the swivel spiritually, be circumspect, okay? Because it's that the enemy is much closer to you than you think, man. So tell me, like the scripture says, the wicked watches the righteous, seeking to slay him. I'm telling you, there's so many ways of how the wicked is watching the prophet, seeking to slay them, man. They're much closer than you think, man. All right, perfect example. I'm gonna say, the Wi-Fi adapter that we got at the crib, right? When you look at all of the fucking names, when you want to connect to the Wi-Fi, why is it that there's an actual name that says CIA surveillance band? That lets you know these niggas close, man. They close. They much closer than you think, man. All right. And then if you want, you bring out that scripture. If you want, you can. If you want, you can bring out your experience how they fucking investigated you.
God, yeah, I was about to do that too. Yep. But this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 3 and 4. Book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
So the prudent man foreseeth the evil, right? A prophet, right? A prophet is going to be able to foresee the danger, the wrath that YAHAWASHI is about to bring upon the whole earth. He's going to hide himself. And how that prophet, that prudent man is going to hide himself? By taking heed to his doctrine, to the wisdom and knowledge of YAHAWASHI, cleaving on to the elders, the apostles and bishops that our power, YAHAWASHI set up to help, to pretty much be like our fathers, pretty much, to help us, guide us, to feed us with wisdom and knowledge, so we can be able to know how to maneuver in the valley of the shadow of death, which is Babylon, man. Let's all hell break loose, man. All right, pretty much to give us a how-to, how to be an Israelite, how to be Israel of YAHAWASHI W4Y. Okay, giving us the directions, instructions. The scripture says how this wisdom is good for doctrine, correction, with something along that line. Okay.
So real quick, you know how the brother was talking about the CIA surveillance band? And fuck it, I'm gonna just come out and say it. Before I even joined the military, I was adopted into a family, right? So I'm an adopted child. CPS was always involved in my life because of certain things, And I remember when I first had joined the military, right? I was ready, shipped off. I had completed training, but I wasn't able to leave until my next destination for training because there were some CIA or FBI agents that had came to me to investigate me. And I didn't know why. I'd never done anything bad in my life. They came to investigate me. The old Edomite dude and a younger Edomite dude. The older Edomite dude was inside speaking to me. The younger Edomite dude was outside by the door, like guarding. And he was asking me, like, so is your past history, false? Are the things that you have done in your in this life, like, have you done anything falsely or wrong or anything bad in general. And I just told him no. And he said, think hard or deeply. He said, because he knows everything. He said, he spoke to everybody. He even spoke to the teachers and the counselors at my high school. He even got text messages from the women I used to text. And it was just like, what the hell? I was just kind of shocked. I was like, yo, what the fuck? And I was looking at him like, I was like, why do you have this? I was like, this is kind of invasive. I was like, this is personal. You know, I was like, me texting females and shit, you over here. He said, well, the reason why we do this, the reason why we investigate certain people is because we need to make sure whoever we're letting into the military or giving them our secrets, you know, they're not going to use it against us.
Do they not do that during MEP?
That's what I'm saying.
Right? During MEP, the military entrance process, don't they do that? Don't they do like a thorough background check on to see who they're about to enlist in the military? And you mentioned too a word that stood out: certain.
Yeah.
Certain people.
All right. And that was the cool part about it, because it was just like what the brother said, you know, MEP. You know, I went there and they said my background was clear. That's why I was able to go to training. If I wasn't clear, I would have never been able to go to training at all. But the fact that I couldn't even go to my next, you know, appointed station of training is because they wanted to investigate me, and they said because they need to make sure who they're giving their secrets and information to. You know, certain people, you know, they basically backstab and shit. But I was like, I never done that shit before. Oh damn!
It's starting to get windy out here because rain. Yeah. Bear with us, Dr.
Just to get messed up.
My screen all fucked up. He said, Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 1 through 7.
Ezekiel 33, 1 through 7.
Yeah.
God. You know, back to it. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 1 7. Again, the word of the Lord YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast, and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, and blow the trumpet, and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet, and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. That's verse 1. That's verse 1.
Yeah, so pretty much, what's going into, pretty much our power, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM has set up prophets, started with our elders and on down, to go out there and sound off the trumpet, which is go out there and prophesy. All right, speaking you prophecies, words that's written in the Bible. Okay, like it says in I think second Ezra chapter 15 verse 1. If I'm mistaken, it says speak ye these words to my people, the words of prophecy. In verse 2 it says for they're written in paper and truth. Paraphrasing. All right, we're sounding off that trumpet by prophesying I on the highways and byways in the public places. Also pushing out lessons on the internet to reach out throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay, trying to steal the elect and warn our people so we can get the blood off our hands. Because when the times come, right, and the 2/3 are officially about to literally be judged, right, that great death, right, we can get that blood off our hands. It warns you. Got it.
Verse 5. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he
that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. And if a watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand.
So right, so the prophets are out here warning you, and whoever takes heed to that trumpet, right, to the prophet that's out here prophesying, you repent. Hey, you saved your life, and the prophet saved his life. He saved his own life too. All right, but if you actually have that gift, I'm gonna say it again. If you have the gift to teach, okay, you know enough scriptures, you know enough precepts. You know what's going on in the world. Stop being a fucking social media prophet. Go out into the houses and byways and fucking prophesy as the scriptures commanded for those. It says, it says to go out. I think it says, I command you to go out to the highways and hedges and compel them that they may come and fill my house. Paraphrasing, right? If you got the ability to teach, you better actually go out there and prophesy and teach, because not every elect may have a fucking social media. There's probably elect members out there that don't even have Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Tumblr, and any other platforms, right? Right? But because YouTube is a platform where it's free to anyone, pretty much. You don't need an account to watch videos. You just YouTube.com. Go to the search bar and just type in pretty much whatever the hell you want to watch. Okay? But Instagram, you gotta have a profile. You better go on there and actually, check out some stuff. Okay? And then if you got the ability to teach, and you're not actually warning our people, and the time comes where it's time for them to be judged, not only their blood, their blood is required of you. You're going to have to die because you did not give warning. Okay? Yeah, you got it.
Verse 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman upon the house of Israel. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me.
And that's what the prophets are doing. They're out here diligently making their bodies a living sacrifice in season, out of season, during the rain, when it's cold, when it's hot. You got brothers that's dealing with like sickle cell disease, some kind of illness on the actual body, and they still out here pushing the word. But you got people out here that have the ability to teach and an able body, but you're not actually trying to get the blood off your hands, man. You're supposed to be out there warning our people about the charagma, what it truly is, being a defender of the gospel, right? Going out there and telling our people, hey, the true nationality is an Israelite. Okay? You're not a byword, a proverb, an astonishment. You're not the labels that our oppressors had given. Okay? Going out there and warning our people about the famine that's about to be brought upon all of Babylon. Many people are going to die from it. Men, women, and children. 2/3 of our nation are going to be put to death, and the list goes on. Okay? You want to move on? Go to Proverbs chapter 19, verses 20 to 21.
Chapter 19, 20 to 21.
Yeah.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 20 and 21. Verse 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end.
So right there, elect, right? Well, our power is telling our people, like, hey, receive instruction, receive wisdom. for the latter end, because what? In the latter end, it's going to be Jacob's trouble, a time never before. Like it says in Ezekiel chapter, I think 7 and 5, where it says, and evil and only evil is come. Okay, a time like never before, right? Great tribulation, all right? Where we're taking heed to this counsel. So Isaiah 33 and 6 can keep us stable in time, right? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. All right. We're taking heed to this counsel now, so we can be stable in the latter end. We're in the latter end of the latter end. Yeah. Think about it. You got it.
Verse 21. There are many devices in a man's heart.
So there's many devices in a man's heart, many plans, plots in a man's heart. Right? You got it?
Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, that shall stand.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We're gonna move forward to if I'm not mistaken, go to Proverbs chapter 19, verse 29. Go to verse 29.
Verse 29. Judgments are prepared for scorners and stripes for the back of fools.
So yeah, judgments are prepared for those for mockers. Like scorners also goes into mockers, scoffers. One of many perfect examples. You got many people out there scoffing and mocking about what the charagma truly is. That the charagma is literally is that RCC hit. Okay? But hey, we got to close it out real quick. Lord willing, we're gonna do a continuation. We got more stuff we want to bring out, but we're gonna do it. Just sit down, let's because it's raining right now. It's raining a little bit harder. So we're gonna close out. Okay? All right. I want to try to get the phone wet. But we're gonna close out. So I give them much due all praises, honor, and glory to
YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM RAWCHAA.
all right. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops and CMS. Much respect. It's to the Akim who are leaving the work. And Shalom.
Shalom.
To the believers, to the Akim YAHAWAH, brothers and sisters, proud truth. As always,
ETA abad with soon. Kwam Yasharallah.
all right. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We're gonna do a part 2 when we get home. It's raining right now. All right. This shit we even let me end it. Damn, my fucking phone screen is cracked. Hold on, bear with me. Hold on.